Okay, so quick Hardspace tutorial. Since a lot of the reviews seem to indicate that there are spots where the in-game tutorial has left some holes. So we're going to go with the level 1 ship here, the first one you get access to. And here we go. Probably the easiest place to start is to strip all of the random little bits off the outside here, like these antennas. Now, one thing people have had some issue with is where does this crap go? And when you have something held in your little mover guy here, right above your O2 down there, it'll show a little indicator on what to do with it. So we pull this guy off, and you see that little green barge light down there. So this goes in the barge. We got those. We're going to move over to these nacelles. Now these are heavy, so they're probably the first thing we're going to use our tethers on. Given the amount of time you can save using tethers, they're worth the $9,000 per 10 just to get this stuff out of the way. There it goes. The next step, we are going to depressurize this. You can do that the easy way, but you're going to lose some crap in the process, so we're going to do it the hard way. Open the airlock.
Airlock pressure levels dropping.
We're going to go inside, close the airlock.
Airlock pressure levels increasing.
Now in this class of ship, the atmosphere controller is going to be right up here above the airlock. We're going to hit that.
Air pressure level decreasing.
And then we're going to hit the main cockpit door to check that it's unpressurized in there as well. And it is. So now that we've done that, on this particular ship, we're going to go back outside. And we are going to cut the main engine plate off. So we're going to get that latch. We're going to get this latch. And we grab this guy, and now we can see the light down there is blue. It says processor. So it goes over here.
Object accepted for processing. Credits deposited.
Now we're going to put the needle head onto our laser torch and come on in here. Now on this ship, these 4 bolts on the other side of this X panel are what hold the entire aft section of the hull on. Sidestep to make sure we don't clip the reactor with that. That is a thing you do not want to do. There we go. And we can see this has moved very slightly, indicating that it has come off the rest of the hull. So you can see the separation there. And we are going to tether this guy right into the processor. There's some chance you might need to use a couple more tethers if these give out on the way there, because it is pretty heavy. Okay. So we can see that this outside hull panel and the walkway both say that they go in the processor. So we're going to cut this entire segment of the ship off next by going down the sides and getting rid of all of, well, utility keys. There we go. Now you can see those are all starting to float loose, so we will come back to our tether.
Caution, tether supplies are low.
And sometimes these just might not want to work, so we're going to have to pull them a little loose the hard way. These exterior panels are pretty much the heaviest things you're going to have to try to move. And doing it without the tethers is really time consuming. Okay, now they're gone off the side, now our tethers will work.
Warning. Valuable object processed. Credits awarded.
Pretty much all exterior hull panels are going to go into the processor like that. Now next off we have the reactor. As the tutorial pointed out, if this is out too long, it will explode, and you just generally don't want to deal with it. So we're going to make sure that there is a clean shot for that straight to the barge before we ever pull it. There we go.
Salvage deposit accepted. Credits transferred.
And that already completes the work order for this. But we still have 9 minutes left in the workday, so we're going to make use of them. First, we're going to need some more tethers and oxygen. Now, since we've opened up the interior of the ship like this, we can start pulling all the little valuable junk out of the cockpit too. The chairs aren't especially worth much, but they are required for a certification later to have salvaged X amount of furniture and so forth.
Secured. Credits deposited.
Oh, a little too fast. Try that again.
Salvage deposit accepted. Credits transferred.
Now, the computer consoles in the cockpit are worth a good bit.
Salvage secured. Account credit applied.
Oh, bumped into a spar there. Away.
Salvage secured. Credits deposited.
Here we go. So next, we're going to come down the side of the ship that does not have the airlock and cut all of these spars. Now, if you lose track of these, you can always press T to see what in here can be cut, and you're looking for the yellow guys. Okay. So this whole side of the ship, the exterior plates are now loose. And we can start tugging them off. Now you want to make sure when you're drawing these lines that you don't clip the panels ahead of it, or else it'll stick to that instead of the processor. And sometimes you can chain them up like that, but most of the time it's not really ideal.
Caution, tether supplies running low.
There you go. That's that whole side of the ship done. Now we can come back through here, and we'll take these top panels off the same way that we did the bottom panels. And we will take a quick break to replace our oxygen and tethers again. Yeah, I want to go a little longer until you've used them up entirely, but time is money. And for what we're making, this little bit here and there is going to take a long time to add up. There we go. There you go. Get on out of here.
We've got about 5 minutes left in this shift, Cutter. Don't bite off more than you can chew. Weaver out.
Okay. So we're gonna cut the cockpit off.
Valuable object processed. Credits deposited.
We are going to cut this panel, since there's no way to get in from the back because the airlock bay blocks that. As you can see, this is the first time we've pulled something that says to put it in the furnace. There it goes.
Material deposited.
Okay. So we've got that loose. So this whole side section of the cockpit should now come off. There it goes. And since we've cut the main bolts, we can take the entire front section of the ship and throw it in there.
Tether supplies are low.
Next off, we're going to cut
Processing valuable objects.
the front and back structural spars on the internal hull. And throw that entire thing into the furnace.
Please revisit your training.
Now, as you can see on the side, they're yelling at us for putting the wrong stuff in places. But it is, in a lot of cases, borderline impossible to get all the right things in the right places without spending a lot of time on it. And we only have 15 minutes in a workday to work with. That said, we could take our time and be a little more careful about it. But the rewards for that are not particularly grand. Okay, we're going to send you away. We're going to send the front section away. Okay, well, the front section is a little stuck to things still. We have made a slight oopsie, but this is fine.
Valuable objects processed. Credits
We'll just get rid of that. And see if we can't cut some of this rear stuff off. Nope, those structural spars are a little too hard to work with. So, away it goes. This is somewhat wrong, but generally speaking, soft metals thrown into the processor, not the worst thing in the world. Because the hard metals are generally worth a little more. And we weren't going to get it anyway. Not in our remaining 2 minutes. Now, we could probably get a little more
Credits awarded.
by bringing this guy back. But we need another tether for that, because he is too heavy to move. So, I think we're just going to not worry about it today. For that little bit. We'll have a look around. There's a couple little loose pieces here and there. Now, one thing is to always check that little thing down there where it says furnace, processor, barge, where to put it, right? Because some things that might go in the processor or the barge, if they become too damaged or too cut up, they become a scrap version of whatever they were, and they're only good for the furnace. Alright. We're not going to worry about
Time is winding down, Cutter. Dig deep and
buying
finish
that
off.
last tether to get rid of that guy. If we do a little better next time, maybe we will get the whole thing. But there you go. So your level 1 ship, at least, you can get a pretty decent haul out of just from one workday. And that usually gives you 2 to work on it. Well, there we go. We've got pretty much everything of value out of there. We misplaced a storage bin or 2, door consoles. Stuff that's really hard to cut off. But, what you gonna do? You could spend the extra day trying to get all the little lights off and stuff before you bin all of that, but 3 million haul, not that bad. 2 billion. You know. And then Your daily expenses are about 500,000, so as long as you can beat that, plus the, we'll call it 20-30, you're probably going to spend on supplies, you're in the green. And that is about all there is to know in the immediate about Shipbreaker.